It might seem like I've tried a little bit of everything, but all of those experiences actually helped me become really good at what I'm doing right now. I've always been into art, but also the maths and sciences, and then I ended up opting for the better choice according to my level-headed Chinese parents and went for industrial engineering at UT and did really well. Straight out of school, my first job was an engineer, which put my optimization knowledge into practice. And then I moved into investment banking and sales, and there I used my optimization skills as well to help big companies manage their money better and reduce their financial risk with investment products and derivatives. And then after that, I ended up creating a new service-based business concept, which I grew to multiple locations across the GTA. And it was from this experience where I really gained the most practical experience that I really never learned in school, overseeing all the aspects of business, people management, renovations, customer service, and strategic planning. And throughout most of my career, I was also a real estate investor. From investing in a small condo, then moving to the freehold space, and then eventually taking on bigger projects and growing my portfolio, I really got hooked on real estate investing. So my side gig eventually became my main gig. And now with all this experience that I gathered over the years, I'm now pretty well equipped as a real estate investor. I do make investing decisions based on purely numbers. I like to balance risk and returns, and I understand all sorts of factors that affect real estate investing, from economic trends to policy changes, to lending, to renovations, to financial reports and projections. And now I'm still very active as a real estate investor in Toronto, but I also help others get started and expand their portfolios in Toronto as well. Real estate is a great way to invest and grow your money, but I also believe in having a well-diversified portfolio. So I do invest in stocks and ETFs, and I have multiple streams of income besides working my day job as well. And of course, I do invest in real estate in Toronto, which is like its own little diversified portfolio, especially in the multi-unit space with multiple tenants that pay rent, market appreciation, and value add appreciation too, because I do take on the bigger projects. Now, one awesome thing about investing in real estate is the solid return on investment that you can get given its lower risk profile. You can borrow a big chunk of the money to buy the property and then reap all of the benefits when it comes to the increase in value and appreciation, all while your rents that you collect covers all of your operating costs and pay for your mortgage payments each month, so there's just less to worry about on the carrying front too. These days, Toronto real estate prices have gone up a lot, and the idea of house hacking might not seem as attractive to first-time home buyers compared to when I did it 10 years ago. Just for your information, house hacking is when you buy a house, you live in one part, and then rent the other units out to lower your monthly expenses. But it's definitely a proven strategy, at least amongst our own Elevate team members. And when you do this, it really does help you reduce your housing costs, which then helps you save more money to invest than just buying a big house, and that ends up sucking more of your cash each month, so you have less to invest and grow your wealth. One thing to keep in mind with house hacking is that it isn't meant to be a permanent living arrangement, and it does work great if you're willing to put up with it for a few years when you're younger. You're not home as much then. You don't have as many people in your family, and minimizing your housing costs will set you up for success later on. And because I did this earlier on, I now have more financial freedom, and now I can focus more time on my family and building generational wealth instead. On top of my day job and real estate investing, which I do view as a business too, I did start a passion project where I create children's books in both Chinese and English, which I sell on Amazon. It's a print-on-demand setup, so once I create the book and have the soft copy of it, it's pretty hands-off from there on. If someone's interested in buying, they just hit buy, and Amazon takes care of the rest from printing to shipping. I make YouTube videos and earn revenue from there, and more recently, I did start a business called Urban Lanes, and this venture stemmed from me and my partners building a few laneway suites in Toronto on our own, And then eventually our clients wanted to do the same and wanted us to help them out with it once the policy changes started happening in Toronto, allowing more laneway suites and garden suites. And so we ended up creating this company out of need, and now we help other Toronto real estate investors build garden suites and laneway suites for rental purposes in Toronto. I'm all about taking action. I believe that you still need to plan things out and think things through, but only for the most likely cases. But I do prefer to turn my plans into action pretty quickly. And often I do find that there is more success in experimenting as opposed to taking too much time to think about everything that could possibly go wrong. I'm also a big believer in time blocking instead of having checklists, which ends up helping me get things done and also get things done on time. I'm an early riser and early sleeper, and I tend to do all of my intense work in the first part of the day when I have the most energy. I've come to realize that multitasking is pretty overrated, and I do believe that we end up doing each task much better and much faster when there's focus. Oh, and one last thing, accountability is really big for me. For example, when it comes to exercise, I'm actually a lot more likely to stay committed if I'm part of an accountability team. I think the main reason is that I just don't want to let my teammates down. With a young family, time feels like it's always slipping away. So I'm always trying to make every moment count and being smart about how I spend it. My kids are growing up fast, and so I do want to soak up every bit of their childhood. I actually like work, and that's why I'm still doing it. And because we do spend a big chunk of our day at work, the people that I work with still really matter. And I thrive when I'm surrounded by both colleagues and clients who share my values and make my work really enjoyable. And then finally, when it comes to friendships, I feel like it's quality over quantity, and I'm drawn to those who inspire and uplift me and share similar goals and views in life. I think when you're just starting out, it's okay to take more calculated risks. We all mess up, but it hurts less when you've got more time on your side and you don't have as much to lose. Trust me, you'd regret it more if you don't give something a shot rather than trying and failing in the end. And don't forget to take a step back to see the bigger picture. What feels like could be a really huge deal right now might not actually be as big as it seems, but it could definitely throw you off track. So keeping your eyes on long-term goals will be the way to go. And as you start to build your wealth, finding the right balance between time and money can become pretty important. Sometimes it is worth spending a bit more money for quality instead of going for the cheapest option. It's not just about the lowest cost, but the best value. And over time, when you do have a bigger budget to spend, it might end up making more sense to hire someone to handle the smaller things so that you can focus more of your time on the bigger and more important strategy. You can visit me at samanthachan.ca to see what I'm up to, or just keep an eye on this channel to get the latest investing insights on Elevate's YouTube channel. That's it.